Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Appreciate your support. Got over up to 100 subscribers. I think when I last looked at my phone it was 102 subscribers, so thank you very much, do appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, appreciate it if you would, and if you enjoy this video, give it a like at the end and that. And on my last video I did Owl on the Rocks, so that's this one, and that's all finished up now. So this is the rocks, and obviously I did the whole video of the owl and the rocks. But on this one I'm going to be doing more, concentrating more on the rocks. So the way I've done it is you focus like, so this is what you want to look at, isn't it? So we've made our head look this way. So I've made this one's looking over its left shoulder, that one's looking over its right shoulder. So when if it's looking straight at you, you can't see the wing feathers. If it's looking straight at you, all this work you've done here is just disappeared and you can't see it. Nice chest feathers and that, but that's the focal point. You want to be looking at the nice face. You've done all the detail on the eyes and beak and all that, and then you've got the nice wing feathers pattern that you've done. So you want to be concentrating on that. So ramble finished. So the rocks. So what I was talking about that was, I start on this side. The side that you want to be looking at is this side, because that's where the face is, and that's the way I want to be looking at it. So this is the side that I start my rocks off on. So you've got a nice chunky rock. This rock's underneath it, not on a bit of an angle like that. Another boulder at the front there. Another boulder there, another boulder there, and they're all on top of each other. And then, so I'll go in with a straight cut with your bar like a 90 degree to the wood, and then turn that on a 45. So first cut in, second cut, and then up cut, third cut. So you're going in, making your line, and I go in probably about half a bar. It depends, like on the corner I've gone a little bit deeper. So first cut straight, get your line, define where your rocks are going, and then down into them at like a 45 degrees, and then up into them like a 45 degrees. So yeah, I'll show you how I did it with I think I had the MS251. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Show you how I guard these rocks. So I've got the MS251 with the stock bar and chain off the MS170. So I think it's a 12-inch bar with 3/4 gauge chain. So I'm doing these. This is the side, the focal point of the owl now. This side is. So this is where I'm starting my rock formation off. So I'm going to make this side look how I want it to look, really eye-catching. And then from this side, once I've done all the outlines and got this rock formation looking nice on this side, then it doesn't matter as much around the other sides, because probably not going to look at them as much. They're going to be up against, back facing the wall or whatever. So these little cuts with the side of the bar I'm doing are just texture onto the boulder rocks that I've cut in. So more texture cuts, texture, and now texture. So here we went in 90 degrees, 45, 45. So now we took a big wedge out. So there's our rock separated, and then now we've got the two boulders, side of the chain, for texture into that rock. So there's straight cut, up 45, down 45. I decided to have two separate, one of the owl's foot's on a separate boulder, so two boulders at the front. So there, another boulder, straight cut, bit of space between them, the corners of them boulders, bit of texture on that one, so I'm not making a new one new boulder there, I'm just putting a bit of texture in. Texture cuts on a big slaty piece of rock at the bottom. And you can see there's loads of boulders. So you've put big gaps in separation between the boulders. And then we're going to spray paint into them gaps. You can use whatever spray paint you want, but preferably black because it's like a shadow. It's deep, dark crevice in between the rocks. Just spray paint that on. Make sure you've got all the gaps painted. Create the shadow and make all your detail lines pop out. And then we've got the grinder with the backing, plastic backing pad with 36 grit on there. I'm just going over and I'm just sanding off obviously the black paint off the high points of the rocks, but also I'm shaping the rocks a little bit as well, so where I couldn't quite bend the chainsaw around a corner or whatever, you can do a few final touches with the grinder there. So you'd have to be 100% with your chainsaw. It's easier to hold a grinder because so far I've just used the MS251 on the rocks, so you don't have to have a carving bar to do the rocks and that. You just carving bar I didn't even use on the rocks this time. So if you've just got a stock bar on your chain, it's fine. And most people have a grinder before they have a chainsaw. So, but obviously don't use one hand like I do. It's not. I don't recommend it, and it's not obviously how you should do things. So don't do it like that. And then yeah, so now you can still add more detail and put the finishing touches with your grinder. So we're almost done on the rocks. And then I did go over it again after with the 80 grit on there, but I thought no point sort of recording that and putting it on there and just grinding over it again. But I'll go over with the 80 grit after the 36 grit, just so you don't waste as much paint and it's easier and it's to paint and it's a smoother, better finish. And then whilst you've got it on its side and you can access the bottom of your carving, might as well smoothen that out as well. Save on your clear coat, your oil, your varnish, whatever you're using. Two birds, one stone. So there we go. Just a bit of dust. So I've just sanded all the high spots on the head and neck feathers. Sanded all in the wing, just so when you come to paint it, it's easier. And then sanded with 36 grit on a flat disc with a backing plastic pads thing, 36 grit, and then 80 grit on a flat disc. So this is what I mean. So that's a flat disc. That's what I call a flat disc. It's actually called a flat disc, so I'm right there. So that's a flat disc anyway. 80 grit I have on that, because this one's a 120 grit. So when you use a 120 grit, it just burns. So I use the 80 grit on the flat disc, and then just the disc with a backing pad is what I use with like 36 grit. So I go 36 grit, come back with the 80 grit just to smooth it, and then when you come to paint it, it's so much easier to paint. So yeah, that's how you carve rocks. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, appreciate it. Next target's 200, isn't it? We've got 100 subscribers now. Thank you very much. So yeah, I've still got a bit of fuel left as well. I think I'm got better at carving, or faster at carving, especially with the owls. So I keep doing them because I'm enjoying doing them, because I know how to do them now, if you know what I mean. I've had the epiphany where I can do an owl. So Might do another one yet, you never know, and then I might do another video. But yeah, hope you enjoyed how to do rocks. See you on the next one.